Gojira from 1954, yeah, the movie that started it all. Compared to the rest of the sequels, which are more lighthearted and sometimes downright goofy, this one is very serious in tone. Godzilla is more or less a walking, breathing metaphor of the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There's scores of scenes showing people dying in hospitals and suffering from radiation burns, kids watching their parents die in front of them, people being crushed by tons of rubble, and even a mother comforting her children that they'll be joining their daddy in heaven real soon. How effing morose and frightening. Ugh, the black and white probably helps, but the miniatures look fantastic, and the cinematography and music provide a gritty, grainy tone to the film, like you're watching found footage of a real disaster happening. A disaster like that Godzilla hand puppet! He looks like a Sesame Street puppet that didn't make the cut. It's really bad. And they used it a lot, too. It's one of the few aspects of the film that detracts you from being wrapped up in the film's mood and foreboding atmosphere. However, the reason why a puppet was used so often is because, like I mentioned in the intro video of this series, the actual suit was a nightmare. This film was the first of its kind, the first Japanese film to work with summation in miniatures. Nobody had any prior training. Nobody! So there was a lot of trial and mostly error. All said and done, the final suit weighed 220 pounds. It was practically immobile and could barely move. The actor inside could only see through small holes in the neck, and temperatures rose up to 130 degrees! It was an oven! He could only be in there for 2 or 3 minutes or he'd faint. And the actor could only get out if someone unzipped him from the back! And I'll bet you anything, his paycheck was very small for this. Supposedly, after each group of takes, the actor was able to wring enough sweat out of the suit to fill a pint glass. What if they made an alcoholic drink mixed with rum or vodka or whiskey and Godzilla sweat? Yuck. Only a real monstrous king or queen would drink that. It would be awesome. I'd do it. Man, I could go on about this movie for hours. The origins of Godzilla's name, his roar, the miniatures, all the prototypes of Godzilla before this one, like one version having him with a mushroom-shaped head. But I want to keep this video short. Bottom line, this is a movie that's perfect for discussion in a film class or a world history class, or for a high school or college research paper. Not just for the production, but there's just too many political and social themes to list. The heck with having to find 3 or 5 or 20 sources. All you need is the classic media DVD release of this film. The commentary provided by Steve Riffle and Ed Godziszewski is like getting obliterated with a machine gun. There's so much information being shot at you, there's no way you can take it all in. And if that's not enough, there's another version of the film. Yeah, the 1956 re-edited Americanized version, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. This is the version most people are familiar with, at least it's the one I remember seeing on VHS, with the original film, the 1954 one, not being released internationally until 2004. So for the longest time, I thought this was the original. I did not like the film as a kid, because Godzilla doesn't fight any monsters. What a ludicrous concept! No monster to fight, it's boring! 2 thumbs down. But I was a kid, I was very dismissive of it. So I watched it again as a man, and it's still pretty lame. Basically, all references to nuclear war and Nagasaki and Hiroshima were scrapped, and it's just another 50s B-movie monster flick about radiated induced monsters. And yeah, it's re-edited. American Studios hired Raymond Burr for 6 days, playing an international reporter or whatever, and he's covering Godzilla's rampage. And it's shot and edited in a way so it seems like he's always standing in the back of the room watching everything going on. And sometimes he has a translator telling the viewers what they're saying. It's such a cop-out! On the rare occasions when Burr is supposed to interact with the original actors, it's really bad American doubles from behind. And this guy's face is obscured by laboratory equipment. Oh, come on. I can't completely bust the movie's chops, And it made Godzilla popular, so for what it is, it's not bad. More power to those who have nostalgic ties to it, but if I never see this version of the film for the rest of my life, there's no harm done. Stick with the original, a genuine masterpiece, a relic of world history, and one of the greatest monster movies of all time.